guys up on the roof?
There's cheese on it.
It's like, there's people on the roof. And I'm like, I'm sure it's Devin. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should call him. I'm like, leave him alone.
Yeah, it does.
It was dark enough that I couldn't see, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's him.
Lanky with bad posture, and it's me.
I didn't say it that way, but I'm pretty sure we should. Yeah, we walked up the hill over the rock.
Yeah, they were good. Actually. Not as long as usual, but it seemed like
20
they
minutes
were,
was 20 minutes was plenty.
yeah, I could go for 10.
I walked all the way up that hill. I want 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. This is the City of Hannibal official council agenda. It's Wednesday, July the 5th, 2023, in council chambers at 7 p.m. Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember McCoy,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Here.
Councilmember Franke,
Present.
Councilmember Phillips,
Here.
Councilmember Welch,
Here.
Councilmember Veach.
There being quorum present, I call this meeting to order. Everybody stand for invocation. Heavenly Father, in our hearts we plan our course, but we pray that you establish our steps. I pray that we seek you for advice. Let us not make decisions based upon what we know, but let us act based upon your wisdom. Please guide us, Lord. We place this meeting in your hands. We place our hearts and our minds in your hands so that you may direct us. Amen. Amen. Councilman Welch, would you please the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next up is approval of agenda. I'd like to add a tax proposal that I sent you all earlier in the week. I have a motion to approve the
Make a motion to add Mr. Dobson's memo to the agenda.
second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Carries. Next is approval of minutes of the regularly scheduled council meeting from June 6, 2023, the regularly scheduled council meeting June 20th, 2023, and the closed session minutes from June 6, 2023. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now, approval and payroll of claims for the second half of June 2023. I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion on payroll and claims? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Caitlin Greathouse, Hannibal Free Public Library, Community Heroes Day, request for street closures on Wednesday, July 19th, from 2 to 3. Hi.
All right, hello. Thank you for hearing me. I am Caitlin. I'm the Assistant Director at the Public Library. And before I get into the street closure, I just want to take a moment to kind of brag. We're in the middle of summer reading. And so far, as of last Friday, we had over 500 students signed up, and they've read almost 6,000 books an hour. So there's still plenty of time for those kids to come in, and adults to come in and report books and reading. So I wanted to, any chance I get to brag. But that leads us to Community Hero Day. That is coming up on July 19th. We would like to close off the back alley and just one lane of Church Street. We will have firefighters in the back parking lot, firefighters, police department, and ambulance. It gives the kids an opportunity to check out the really cool rides and to actually get a chance to interact with people that they hopefully will never need to in an emergency situation, but might need to talk to at some point. We just closed off the back alley. We request that the street department drops off the blockades for us. We'll put them up, and then we'll take them down. It just keeps the children out of traffic, which is usually a good thing on our part. So, any questions?
Caitlin, you have this down as Community Heroes Day.
It is.
And while we all know that our police and fire are heroes to one and all, are there any other heroes that you're considering?
We are reaching out to teachers. We will have librarians because, they're the best heroes of them all. We will have possibly some doctors. It just depends on everyone's schedule. Everybody volunteers their time, so we don't set them in stone because it's summer and everybody has vacations and things like that. So we try to stick with our emergency services, the ones that the kids need to be able to locate and go to if they are ever in trouble. So we try to open that line of communication.
All right. Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Gaines, Hannibal Arts Council. The Hannibal Folklife Festival requested street closures for Saturday, October 21, 22. From 5 on Friday. I'm going to let you cover it because there's a bunch of times.
It's 5
Yeah.
p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. Sunday. First, I apologize for my casualness. You guys look great. I've been working in the yard. If you guys have any questions about the street closure, the documents really haven't changed in 30 years that I know of.
Just something that I've been asked to convey is that if you are, submitting your diagram for street closures, that we need to stick to that.
Okay.
In other words, we've had some people that have deviated from their original plan, and it's caused some problems. So,
Okay.
not saying it was your group, but
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna have our Folklife Festival again. No big changes. We hope it's a great economic impact to the community, and not much else to say about it. It's a lot of work, but we thank City Services for all the partnerships that they provide, and that's amazing. I mean, I work with my statewide job in many communities, and they don't have the partnership that we enjoy, and so I come back thankful every time.
Is there insurance?
Yeah, waiting on insurance is
Yeah.
still a little early, so.
All right.
Yeah, we do separate insurance for alcohol consumption and also just $1 million liability as well.
Pending insurance, I make the motion that we accept this.
Second.
Okay. Just one point of discussion. Just highlight that stakes aren't allowed to be hammered into city-owned parking lots
No
for
problem.
tents and so forth. So,
We've been trained well
okay. Very good.
by those who prefer we don't do that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Michael.
Jason Krigbaum, Hannibal Barbecue Festival, request for street closure and noise ordinance, July 21, 22, from noon to July 21 until 11 p.m., and Saturday, July 22nd.
Yep. Hello, council. Just here as previous years to get the decibels raised. We've never been anywhere close to that, but just to protect everybody, we always ask that that be raised, and a couple street closures, and that's actually about it.
How many years you been doing this?
5 years. Good for Hannibal.
Sure is.
Brings a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, it brings a lot of people into this community.
Yeah.
everything's in place pending insurance, so.
Yep.
Are there any questions of Mr. Krigbaum?
Pending insurance, make a motion that we approve it.
Second.
Okay, this is for the street closure. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. And then he's also requesting approval for section 16-184 outdoor performance.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You got your decibel checker? You got your decibel checker?
April Azate, questions for the council?
What is the proper word or term for our previous city clerk's employment? Did we fire her? I just want to make sure that I have that correct.
I would say we didn't renew her contract with it, correct?
That's about right.
we did not retain her contract. Is the proper
Gotcha.
wording.
And I'm assuming that was based on what was found out with the investigation.
I would say,
I think we all made our individual decisions when we cast a vote. So
But I'm assuming a lot of that was determined with what the investigator had figured out from speaking to everybody that she had, correct?
perhaps.
Okay. Mr. Dobson, why did you want to be on council?
why do I want to be on the council?
Well, was it 12, 13 years ago when you first got on council? Why did you want to be on council?
To improve the city.
Do what?
To improve the city and help the citizens.
To improve, sorry, can you speak into the microphone?
Improve the city and help the citizens.
Gotcha. Where our tax dollars spent important to the city?
Of course.
Can I ask each of, is that important to each? I'm going to ask each of you, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you not hear me, Charlie?
No.
Oh, I said, where our tax dollars spent important to the city, and I just wanted to ask each of you that. Who decides on where tax dollars are spent?
It's a collective decision as a result of the budget process that originates with department heads, flows to the finance director, which flows to the city manager, which then flows to us for approval, editing, etc.
So who has the final say, I guess I should reword that.
The council.
The council? Okay, so any city tax dollars that are spent is decided by the council. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I think so. Right, James?
Yeah.
Ultimately, I mean, we don't approve line by line, but, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
It's a simplification, but sure.
Do what?
Ultimately, it's an oversimplification of the process and what goes on, but ultimately, go here, and the buck stops here, and council is where the buck stops.
How can citizens get involved and voice their opinion as to where they feel like tax dollars should be spent?
They should come to the appropriately apportioned time before the council meeting.
Okay, well, I'm asking because people in the community have wanted
There's a
to know.
public hearing for the budget.
Do what?
There's a public hearing for the budget.
Do you guys think that this is a good use of tax dollars? Black ink, just straight black ink? I'm just curious. Because this is one of my sunshine law requests. I'm trying to get it to where all of you can see, and I can hand it to you all if you want. Over half the page is straight black ink. Do you guys think this is a good use of tax dollars or time of somebody to print this?
I think it's a bad use of toner. Probably should have been delivered electronically, but we had an ordinance on hand that specifically refers to protecting personnel data and internal investigations. So,
Well aware of that, but I feel like this right here was a waste of whoever's time at the city clerk's, a waste of somebody's time. So not just the ink itself, but somebody's time. Time is money, and I feel like somebody certainly wasted their time having to do that. How much did we spend on the impeachment allegations that were dropped with Nicole and Bob?
I can't answer that off the top of my head. I don't know.
Lisa, surely you know.
I didn't handle any of those bills.
Well, but we've gotten finalized bills from them, yeah.
I don't process those bills.
Okay, Melissa, do you know approximately, if you had to take a guess, 70,000, how much?
I mean, I really don't want to take a guess on it. I have seen the invoices, and I know that Nicole is pretty caught up. I mean, I would be happy to give you that number. I just don't want to guess at one off the top of my head. I know where
Well, and I know you don't know off the top of your head the exact number.
But yeah, I've seen several invoices that are at the 20,000 mark. So.
several invoices that have been at the 20,000 mark?
Correct.
So probably close to
Maybe.
100,000.
No, I don't think it's that high. I think
Make a
it's a lot
motion to
lower
give
than that.
April an additional 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Roll call.
Councilman McCoy? Mayor Pro Tem Dawson?
Yes.
Councilman Franke?
Yes.
Councilman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Welch?
No.
Councilman Beach? Gone, sorry.
So, Melissa, I'll just come see you sometime this week to get those
Yes,
exact
I'd
numbers
be
for the
happy to
next
get you the
meeting.
exact number.
But if I had to take a wild guess, we're at probably $70,000. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not the citizens paying for that? We are paying for that, correct? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it's paid by
Okay.
tax dollars.
A handful of meetings, there was a lot of back and forth to get the police department and fire department raises, and you had to figure out how to work it in the budget, yet we have no problem wasting, if I, again, had to take a wild guess, $70,000 based on hearsay. And I recently found out that, Dobson, you have filed for these impeachment allegations that have been dropped to be amended and reheard, which would mean that there would be another $70,000+ of our tax dollars wasted on something that has already been proven and dropped. And at the beginning, when I asked why you wanted to be on council 12, 13 years ago, you said you care about the community and that you care about where our tax dollars are spent and where they go. Yet you made the decision to amend this and for it to be reheard. Is that correct? Why is that?
Because it hasn't been heard. It hasn't gone before the council.
Did Judge Jackson not drop these allegations?
He did.
So why did you file to have it amended and reheard by the exact same judge that has already made his decision?
Yes.
I'm not the attorney on that matter, but I am aware that those attorneys have had discussions with you. This is invading the area of the legal advice you've received. I don't want you to do anything which prejudices the city. I'm going to suggest that you probably don't need to answer any further questions on the discussions you had with those attorneys.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, he doesn't need to speak about the discussions he had with attorneys, but I'm asking you personally why you decided that this was a good use of our tax dollars.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'm going to have to make the same suggestion to you. I think so. Need to know what, Carl?
Who voted on this?
This is why we're here. We're here because we're upset with all this hanky-panky shit that's going on.
Okay.
Did the council vote on amending this?
Here's the thing. I'm not the attorney on that. My issue is, I am, however, the city attorney, and I
But you
can't-
represent
wait,
them.
Wait, April. I'm answering Carl's question. I can't let.
Can you stop the time
councilman
since he's not addressing
answer
me?
things
Stop the time.
that are in legal action. I just can't let him do that.
Classic.
I'm sorry, April. I didn't mean.
No,
to.
you're fine. I just asked him to stop the time since I was asking a question and the city manager and Dobson both said no, and I just. So my question is, did the city council vote on this or just you made this decision and this called Dobson?
I'm not going to answer your question.
I don't understand why that, I mean, at the beginning I asked if the council had the final say on where our tax dollars go. I mean, it'd be different if it was like a couple bucks, but we're talking a lot of money. And again, after we went back and forth, how many meetings to get the fire department and the police department raises? I mean, this is a lot of money we're talking about. Daryl, did you get a say in this as to whether or not it was amended?
I'm going to follow legal advice and not answer your question.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm going to follow our legal advice and not answer your question.
Stefan, did you have a say in this?
On opposite
Obvious,
day.
yeah. Charlie, did you get to decide on this?
I did not.
Well,
You already know I'm not answering you.
classic. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you.
April, thank you.
Next is under my name, approval of library board, second reading for Roy Hark, reappointment for a term to expire June of 2026.
Motion to approve.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Recommendation of appointment library board for a first reading, Vicky Whithouse, that would be for a term to expire in June of 2025.
June or July, Mr. Mayor?
It's June.
Okay. It says July on here. Just checking.
So no roll call on that one. Next is, everybody had been sent a support letter for the designation of Interstate 72 for US 36 from the Mark Twain Bridge to the 24 interchange. So I've got a resolution number 2466-23 to follow. Election of the city clerk, oath of office. For the resolution follows.
No, for the city clerk.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It says not sure if you need a roll call, so you need a motion?
I think you need a motion to be second to.
Okay. Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to appoint Melissa as the city clerk.
I'll make a motion to appoint Melissa as the city clerk.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Do you need any roll call? Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Melissa Coggle,
Will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the state of Missouri,
will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Missouri,
and the charter and the ordinances of the city,
the charter and the ordinances of the city of Hannibal,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of my office,
that in the appointment, promotion, or discharge of officers or employees,
that in the appointment, promotion, or discharge of officers or employees,
I will be influenced only by the consideration of fitness,
I will be influenced only by the consideration of fitness.
and that in such matters, I will act with impartiality and justice.
And I will act with impartiality and justice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lisa Peck, City Manager.
Good evening. The first item I have before you this evening is recommendation of an appointment for the Hannibal Board of Public Works of Kelly Cookson, appointment term to expire July of 2027. It'll be,
Yeah, right.
okay. And then the next item is the MoDOT agreement, service agreement for the 79 Bridge project. So this contract, there had been a few concerns that the city attorney and I had had. This contract addresses them sufficiently, and so that'll be before you with an ordinance to follow.
Okay. That's the figures.
That's all I got.
Megan Rapp, Director of Convention and Tourism, bid waiver, purchasing policy limitations, and media buys.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tim and Council. In your packet, you saw the memo. I bring this forward every year in regards to requesting a bid waiver for media buys. Again, I typically use the term, like where you try to bid and get the best price for Sharpie highlighters. You can go to different vendors. If you need advertising on Facebook, you can't bid that out. And so I have a list of some of our vendors that we may possibly use for the next year. None of them can be competitively bid, so I'm asking for a waiver so we can purchase advertising to further promote Hannibal for up to $200,000 in our fiscal year budget. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone may have.
Any questions? Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Megan. Andy Dorian, Director of Central Services, bid approval for purchase of an arm cutting tractor. Hope it's not like it sounds.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. I got 4 items tonight. First up is with the turnover of the budget year, we finally have some money to buy equipment. So up first is we recently went out for bid for an arm tractor. We had a low bid from Woody's Municipal Supply for $159,624.60. This is split 3 ways between the Street Department, the Parks Department, and the airport. It is used for a lot of the trail maintenance, right-of-way clearing, etc. And so this is usually a 15 to 20-year-old piece of equipment that we'll have, so we'll have for quite some time. So estimated delivery date of this tractor and mower is December 2023. So a little bit off. Can answer any questions.
Andy, is that big horizontal arm that cuts the trees in place?
Yes. Yeah, the one that we have now, it's kind of a safety issue. It's a rear-mounted one, so the guy who's operating has to look over his shoulder while driving the tractor in the road, and so for 2 things: safety reasons, and it kinks your neck for quite some time. So we're actually converting that tractor is going to the Parks Department, and that will be used for all the brush cutting, the actual brush cutting. So it'll be used for brush cutting at the airport, landfill, display center, any of the big right-of-ways. And then this new tractor will be used for the arm tractor for clearing road right-of-ways, and like Bear Creek Trail, Sedalis Trail. And then the Parks Department they will sell one of their open cabbed tractors that we've had for 20-25 years. We're trying to have all brush cutting enclosed cab structures because of flying debris, et cetera. Our insurance strongly encourages it.
It's a pretty big piece of equipment. I'm just curious, how big a diameter does that cut?
Those cutting heads, there's multiple cutting heads, and so yeah, it's quite large. So we can stretch it out. The other issue, the one we have now, it gets a little top heavy, and so it has to stay on flat surfaces. This other one will allow us to get off the edges a little bit more, which allows us to do a little bit more of the right-of-ways. So,
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Next item, Andy.
Okay, next up, we went out for bid for the purchase of a new skid steer for the street department. Altoffers Caterpillar had the state bid, and so that bid was $104,305. As part of that, we also included a 6-way dozer blade for lots of different uses. It's a grading tool for a lot of our projects, and then a power rake, which was desperately needed. The power rake will actually come out of the demo line item, out of the building inspectors, because it is used for a lot of times after right-of-way or after demo projects to get rock and debris out, so that we have a nice surface to mow, because you don't want to mow rocks and kick them off into other people's houses. So that piece of equipment will also be used for other things, but This skid steer is so important because it'll be running our milling head for all our milling projects. And so anytime we do an asphalt project, we always do milling along the edges, and that will run that piece of equipment. So pretty valuable piece of equipment for us.
Any questions? Motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. The last two are property sales. Michelle Hoskins would like to purchase 1120 Valley from the city. So a title report was completed showing no deed restrictions or liens. We recommend selling this property to her for $575.
500 and what?
$75.
Is that the new price?
Yeah, so we included closing costs as part of that price instead of doing the 500 and then having to go back. So this covers closing costs. It was cleaner and simpler that way. And we require the money up front because what was happening is you guys would approve it, and then it was a hard time getting people to track down their money. So this way it shows people that are serious, they'll pay up front. So.
Cool. I'm just giving you a hard time, but it sounds like there was a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution number 2465-23 to follow.
Okay. And then next up is Johnny Ricks would like to purchase 1906 Chestnut from the city. Same thing, a lien, no liens, no deed restrictions. So we recommend selling this to Mr. Ricks for $575.
Resolution number 2464-23 to follow.
That's all I got tonight.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Jacob Naki, Police Chief, bid award, on-body and in-car cameras. Evening.
Good evening. I'm here tonight. We went out for sealed bids recently on in-car and body camera products. Our current body cameras we use cost quite a bit to replace. I think they're in the $800 range per camera now. And as you can imagine, something you wear on your shirt and jump in and out of cars, they have a tendency to go flying off and things like that. So with the purchase of our new cars, we needed to look at in-car cameras anyway. We found that most companies were actually integrating the two products together. So when your lights come on your patrol car, it actually kicks on your body camera, which is an added bonus for us because right now we have to actually remember to get out of our car and activate our body cameras, which has been working, but this would just kind of create a fail-safe to where to integrate that together, and it also pick up the microphone from the body camera. So we went out for sealed bid, and we actually received several different bids with two not meeting the delivery criteria. We have vehicles that are starting to be delivered to the upfitter, and we can't wait for 12 months or longer to obtain these products, so we had to narrow down the delivery date on those. So with that, we received a bid from Digital Ally, which is a Kansas-based company just across from Kansas City. They met all the requirements, and they were the lowest of the ones that met the requirements at $198,370.20. Having said that, it's broken up into 5 years, so the annual cost is $39,606, which we have planned into our computer software budget for the upcoming year.
Chief, the agenda says a different amount than you just read. Did you say 198? Our agenda says 176.
No, it's 198,370.20. Turnkey Mobile was 176. However, they couldn't meet the delivery date timeline.
Very cool. Sounds like something we need. So
it's become a necessity. It not only is it good for the public, for if they have a question or if they want to review something, but for evidence. When we can actually provide testimonial evidence with the video, it really helps, and it helps a lot on complaints. We can watch the video, and it's good for me as administrator. I can look at everything. It kind of gives me a chance to see how the officers are doing on the street as well. I can look at routine calls and kind of see how they're interacting without having somebody look over their shoulder all the time.
Every time I call Spectrum, it says this call may be reviewed for training purposes, and it sounds like you might be doing that too.
Yeah. It's a necessity in today's world.
Thank you, Chief.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Mike McCarg, Building Inspector, rezoning of Arapahoe, A1 two-family to D Highway Business.
Melvin Bramwell request to rezone this property directly behind Casey's from single family to Highway D business for additional parking.
Okay.
At planning and zoning passed, and as most of you know, there was no opposition earlier at the public hearing.
Okay. Bill number 23-021 to follow. Next item.
The second item is Brad Peters wants to rezone a piece of property he owns on Hillcrest, basically eliminating a cul-de-sac and turning 7 lots into 4.
Bill number 23-020 to follow. Charlie Phillips, Stephen Franke.
Mayor Pro Tem, council, citizens. Again, for the 11th time in 11 meetings, we're asking the council to update the ordinance to require a monthly report from the city manager to our citizens and businesses in our public council meetings. Tonight, we would like to address one specific point. In response to myth-truths that our peers continue to perpetuate despite repeated explanation, the ordinance we are asking you to approve does not require a line-by-line recitation of this report. Instead, if approved, the ordinance would require the manager to verbally present highlights using his or her own judgment from the report, and that is common in organizations across Hannibal and America. As city councilmen, our duty is to serve Hannibal, and one of the main ways we do this is by offering oversight of city staff and advocating for accountability and transparency in City Hall. Furthermore, listening to and adhering to the will of the people, I believe, is my duty as a councilman, and I also believe it's the duty of my fellow councilmen. As a result, we will continue to fulfill that duty and ask for this report until it is passed. Thank you very much.
First reading to follow.
Bill number
First reading follows.
23-022 to follow. Public safety tax. You want to go first?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yes, I will go for it. Thank you. So, as promised, we are back in front of you guys. It seems by coincidence both us and Mr. Dobson are back at the same time. The way Charlie and I left it is that in order to seek this half-cent public safety sales tax to be permanently dedicated to police and fire, we would first need to hire a lobbyist to seek permission from the Missouri legislature. James, in an abundance of caution, and thankfully so, recommended that we first seek some guidance from the Missouri Ethics Commission before we could hire a lobbyist to seek that guidance. While we haven't necessarily received formal approval, we have received some approval that James thought to be adequate in order for us to proceed and hire that lobbyist. So Charlie and I are back here tonight to ask council to do just that. A few highlights as to why we think a public safety tax is the right way to go, sales tax that is, versus a property tax. I'll wait for the property tax stuff until Mr. Dobson does his turn, but a sales tax, the reason why we like that is that 40% of it is paid for by tourists and people out of town. I know I have a lot of friends who live outside of Hannibal but come to Hannibal to shop. Furthermore, it is for roughly 8 times the amount would be generated from the sales tax than the property tax would. Additionally, a sales tax is going to adequately track inflation better than a property tax would. And beyond that, I think a sales tax is fair. If you don't want to incur the tax, spend less money. So that's our presentation. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to direct the city attorney, James Lemon, to negotiate a contract with Jason Zamkus, HR EDC lobbyist of record, for city council's approval that directs Zamkus to pursue appropriate legislative means for and in the 24 legislative session so that Hannibal can ask our voters for a half-cent public safety sales tax.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, I should have asked for discussion. As part of the discussion, I'll give my presentation.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
And that way you can decide. As you know, we passed a pay ordinance for city employees that gave them at least a 10% raise. This was against the city manager's advice, and she had tasked the council with a way to pay for the raises. Presently, real and personal property taxes are taxed at $1.778 per 100 assessed valuation. For the city last year, real estate raised $2,012,836, and personal property tax raised $608,368. Real estate can be reassessed on odd number years. Reassessment of properties can affect the taxes collected on the properties based on the consumer price index. Previously, we discussed proposing a 10% increase to the tax levy. The council didn't like the idea because it'd be on an April ballot along with a proposal by the Board of Public Works. We're now facing a November election for the office of mayor where it would cost no more to place a second item on the ballot. I would propose placing a 10% increase to real and personal property tax, changing the present levy from 1.1778 to 1.2948. I believe this is the fairest way to tax, keeping our poorest citizens in mind. If we increase the sales tax, then people that can afford it the least pay another percentage on every dollar that they spend. Yes, out-of-town people pay the tax, but only while they are in town. The person that can afford it least will pay the tax on everything that they buy forever. There are a couple of bills on the governor's desk that would make this property tax a little less painful for those people. An exemption from taxes for the first $6,000 of a private pension income has been approved by the House and Senate, as well as eliminating Missouri income taxes for Social Security recipients. Also, there's a bill that would allow counties to limit the amount of property taxes paid by seniors of 65 years of age and older, and this could also add relief for those less privileged individuals. My estimates are that if approved by the voters of Hannibal, this tax would generate about $262,000 of new income to help cover the cost of the 10% raise. My request is to have the city attorney draw up the ballot language for the proposition to be decided in the November 23rd election. Personally, for me, my taxes would go up $43.57 a year on a house that was built in '95 and a couple of vehicles. Looking at statistics from Google, a family of four purchases groceries anywhere from $875 to $1,287 a month. The annual cost on that would be $525 to $772 on the top end. And then clothing, they list at $120 a month or $1,440 annually with another $72. Gas would be on top of that. Vehicle purchases, if you bought a $40,000 vehicle, it'd add $200 on tax on that. So just an alternative method. It does raise less than what the other proposal is, but I think it's more fair to the people that can afford it the least.
I agree with most of what Mayor Pro Tem says. It's just that I don't think now's the right time.
No.
Not right now. I just don't think now is quite the right time. In April, the utility is most likely going to go to the ballot for not exactly a property tax increase, but it will be on the property tax bill. So to you, me, and everybody in between, they're going to interpret it as a property tax. And I mean, I don't know. If I wasn't as in the know as I am based on being up here, I probably would not vote for 2 consecutive property tax increases. Furthermore, sales tax would raise more money, and this is a problem that's been created over the long term. And according to our finance director, we had the money to do this pay raise in the current budget, which is why we are able to do it. So we don't necessarily, in my opinion, need to pay for it, but what we do need to do is to plan for the next 5, 10, 15 years to make sure that we don't have to deal with something like this on an annual basis, and we can turn our attention to other more pressing opportunities and problems. Like I said, I think it's the right thing. I just don't necessarily think it's the right time, right thing for right now.
So you said that you were at least 18 months out, correct?
It would be on the November 2024 ballot.
Okay.
And you said 2 tax increases, but really it'd be 3. It'd be Mayor Pro Temp's in November, the board's in April. And, yep, I'm sorry. I said there would be 3. Councilman Fonke said it would be 2 tax increases back to back, but really, I mean, if we chose to pursue Mayor Pro Temp's, it would be November, April, and then again in November.
It would.
And I mean,
No, I wouldn't propose, both of those, one or the other. I don't think that's fair to the citizens to do both of them. It's one
well, yeah,
or
I
the
mean,
other.
that's right. That's what I'm saying. One is more than enough.
Yeah.
It's too much, but we do have to.
So anyway, we've got a motion and a second on the floor with both of them presented.
I really don't see the harm in doing both of these at the same time. Just putting it on the ballot. Yeah, I don't see the harm in doing both of these at the same time. I think a lobbyist would actually be a pretty decent idea. I have no qualms about it, but I do think we should probably vote for both of these at the same time.
They should, city attorney, probably vote on those separately.
Oh.
Well, you'd have to.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't think he meant
literally.
Like
Okay.
literally the
Okay,
same time.
okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've got a motion and a second on the floor for the sales, or for the sales tax.
What I think the motion actually was for me to,
Public safety sales tax.
attorney to
For you to
direct City Attorney James Lemon to negotiate a contract with Jason Zamkus for City Council's approval that directs Zamkus to pursue appropriate legislative means for and in the 2024 legislative session so that Hannibal can ask our voters for 1.5% public safety sales tax. So at this point, the vote would just be to direct me to have a further conversation with Mr. Zamkus. I'm pretty confident he's got a typical contract, review it, make sure it's not going to be something that you all would have a major problem with, and then provide you with a proposed draft, hopefully at the next meeting. So that's what's the first vote is.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Did you want to vote on the November property tax?
I think it's probably necessary to do that too, yes. So I'll make the motion that we add that to,
Well, I guess it would be to direct James to propose ballot language for the November election.
That's the basis of what you said, and that's, you all would have to have a ballot language proposal in front of you to
Yes.
vote on it.
Yes. So was that your motion?
yeah, that was my motion.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
Roll call.
Councilman McCoy,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Yes.
Councilman Franke,
No.
Councilman Phillips,
No.
Councilman Welch, Councilman Beach, sorry. Can't get past him
That's
being
okay.
gone.
No.
I miss him.
Okay. So that one fails. So now we're to the point of bill number 23-016. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a second and final reading.
So move.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Bill number 23-016, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal providing for a municipal election to be held Tuesday, November 7, 2023, for the purpose of electing a mayor of the City of Hannibal. Second and final reading. Councilman McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes?
Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
I declare Bill number 23-016 duly approved and adopted on this day. Bill number 23-020, I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All those, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Bill number 23-020, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal vacating a small cul-de-sac, which is a tract of land being part of Hillcrest Drive, which is part of Hillcrest Subdivision, City of Hannibal, Marion County, Missouri. First reading.
Now we have Bill number 23-021. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
Bill number 23-021, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal rezoning a tract of land being all of Lot 3 in Block 5 of Indian Mounds Investment Company's second subdivision of Indian Mounds Park in the City of Hannibal, Marion County, Missouri, from a 1- and 2-family zoning to a D Highway Business Zoning District and amending the city's zoning map accordingly. First reading.
Now have Bill number 23-022. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Bill number 23-022, an ordinance revising Chapter 2.
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. Is there any opposed?
I think you guys want a roll call.
All right, roll call.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I would too. Caught the June and July, but not bad.
Sorry about that.
That's Councilman McCoy.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
No.
Councilman Franke.
Yes.
Councilman Phillips.
Yes.
And Councilman Welch.
No.
So we have resolution number 2466-23. Need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and give the call, roll call for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution number 2466-23, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the council to join with our state representative and the Honorable Louis Riggs on behalf of the City of Hannibal and asking for Interstate 72 designation for US 36 highway from US 61 highway to US 24 highway interchange.
First
Counsel-
reading. I'm sorry, go ahead.
This resolution.
Okay.
Councilman McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilman Franke?
Yes.
Councilman Phillips?
Yes.
And Councilman Welch.
Absolutely. Yes.
I declare resolution number 2466-23 duly adopted and approved on this day. Resolution number 2465-23. Need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 2465-23, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed to Michelle Hoskins for the sale of city-owned property located at 1120 Valley in the amount of $575.
I declare resolution number 24. I'm sorry. Yep.
Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
I declare resolution number 2465-23 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have resolution number 2464-23. Need a motion to have the clerk read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 2464-23, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed to Johnny Ricks for the sale of city-owned property located at 1906 Chestnut in the amount of $575. Councilmember McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilmember Franke?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
And Councilmember Welch.
Yes.
I declare resolution number 2464-23 duly approved and adopted on this day. Now have closed session in accordance with RSMO 610-021, subsections 1 and 2. Need a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Admitting myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, anybody else? Chief Naki and Andy Dorian.
Phyllis Nelson.
And Phyllis Nelson. I'll take the motion.
Yes, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, second.
All those, there's any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries.
Councilman McCoy?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson?
Yes.
Councilman Franke?
Yes.
Councilmember Phillips?
Yes.
Councilmember Welch?
Yes.
Closed session.